The neon lights of Times Square cast a kaleidoscope of colors across the wet pavement as Ethan Carter navigated the bustling streets of New York City. His thin jacket did little to shield him from the autumn chill, and his sneakers crunched against the sidewalk. Homeless for 2 years, Ethan had become a shadow in the city, scavenging for food and sleeping in subway stations. Yet his keen eyes never missed a chance to survive. Late one evening, near a busy corner, Ethan Carter spotted a sleek leather wallet half buried in a pile of soggy newspapers. He crouched down, brushing away the debris, and opened it. Inside were crisp $100 bills, a few credit cards, and a driver's license belonging to Victor Langston. His stomach growled, but a memory of his mother's voice, "Never take what isn't yours," stopped him. He zipped the wallet into his jacket and set out to find its owner. The license listed an address in Manhattan's financial district, a towering skyscraper that gleamed against the night sky. Ethan Carter approached the security desk, his heart pounding. A guard raised an eyebrow but listened as Ethan explained, holding up the wallet. After a phone call, the guard led him to an elevator that whisked him to the top floor. Victor Langston stood waiting in a sleek office with floor-to-ceiling windows. His suit and stern demeanor contrasted with Ethan's ragged figure. "You found my wallet?" Victor asked, his tone skeptical. Ethan nodded, handing it over. Victor inspected it, noting every bill and card intact. "Most people would have kept the cash," he said. "It didn't belong to me," Ethan Carter replied, meeting Victor's gaze. Victor's eyes narrowed, studying Ethan. "What's your name?" he asked. Ethan hesitated, then answered. Victor pulled out a $100 bill. "Take it. For your trouble." Ethan shook his head. "I didn't do it for a reward." He turned and headed for the elevator. The next day, Ethan Carter woke in a Brooklyn alley, warmed by a vent. A black SUV pulled up, and Victor Langston stepped out, his shoes stark against the grimy pavement. "You're not easy to find," Victor said, a hint of amusement in his voice. Ethan Carter sat up, wary. "What do you want?" he asked. Victor leaned against the SUV. "I've been thinking about you. That wallet wasn't an accident. For 3 years, I've been leaving wallets in public places, parks, stations, street corners. Each had cash, my ID, my contact details. I wanted to see if anyone would return it, not because they had to, but because they chose to." He paused. "You're the first." Ethan Carter listened, stunned. "You were testing people?" he asked. Victor nodded. "I was searching for someone with a conscience. My father, who valued honesty, died 4 years ago. His death made me question whether people like him still existed. I'd almost given up until you." Ethan swallowed hard, unsure what to say. "I run a foundation for kids like you," Victor Langston continued. "I want to offer you a chance, housing, education, a shot at a real future. Not charity, but an opportunity to build something." Ethan Carter nodded slowly, his wariness softening. Ethan Carter agreed to visit the Foundation's center in Queens. The facility was a haven of clean rooms, warm meals, and classrooms filled with books and computers. He enrolled in a program, discovering a talent for mathematics. Victor Langston mentored him, sharing stories of his rise from a modest background. News of Ethan Carter's story spread. A newspaper article sparked debates online. Some praised Victor Langston for his generosity, others called it a PR move. Ethan ignored the noise, focusing on his studies and the unfamiliar feeling of safety. One evening, Victor Langston invited Ethan Carter to his penthouse for dinner. Over plates of grilled salmon and roasted vegetables, Victor shared more about his father. He used to say, "Wealth is meaningless if it doesn't lift others." "You reminded me of that," he said. 6 months later, Ethan Carter stood before a crowd at the Foundation's annual gala. His voice, once hesitant, rang clear. "I used to think the world didn't care about kids like me," he said. "But one choice, doing the right thing, changed everything." Victor Langston watched from the front row, nodding approvingly. His foundation expanded, opening new centers across the US, inspired by Ethan's story. At the gala's close, Ethan found a small package, a leather-bound journal with a note from Victor. A year into his new life, Sarah Thompson contacted Ethan Carter, informing him that his estranged father, Michael Carter, was in a Brooklyn hospital, battling illness. Ethan hesitated but took a train to see him. Michael Carter lay in a hospital bed, barely recognizing Ethan Carter. "I failed you," Michael whispered. Ethan took his hand. "I'm not here to hold grudges." Ethan Carter arranged for Michael's care, using funds from a scholarship he'd earned. Forgiveness, he realized, was not weakness but strength. He left the hospital with a lighter heart, knowing he'd made peace with his past. 2 years later, Ethan Carter stood at the ribbon cutting for a new community center in the Bronx, a project he'd helped design. Families cheered as he cut the ribbon, children racing into a space that smelled of fresh paint and possibility. At a quiet dinner, Victor Langston gave Ethan Carter a symbolic key